Sam wiped the grease off his hands, muttering to himself about another long day at his shop. The old repair bay smelled of burnt circuits and cheap alien coolant, a cocktail he'd grown oddly fond of. He was just about to close up when Nine shuffled in, clutching a metallic contraption that hummed faintly. "Sam," Nine began, his voice a mix of urgency and hesitation, "I require your expertise. This device, well, it's sensitive." Sam raised an eyebrow, smirking. "Sensitive, huh? Don't worry, I've handled plenty of delicate pieces in my time." Nina's pale, blue-tinted skin flushed darker. "I didn't mean, never mind. Can you fix it?" With a shrug, Sam grabbed the device. "Looks like a portable heater mated with a blender." "What does it do?" "It's a portal generator," Nine explained, fidgeting. "A very advanced one. Be cautious. It reacts to imprecise handling." Sam chuckled. "Relax. Precise handling is my middle name." He began tinkering, the device sparking occasionally under his tools. "So, Nine, why do you always show up with the weirdest gadgets? Trying to build a spaceship in your spare time?" "I prefer to work in solitude," Nine mumbled. "It's less complicated." Sam glanced at his friend. "You're always so cagey. Got some deep, dark secret? Like a stash of forbidden alien snacks?" Nine shifted uncomfortably. "Nothing like that. Just fix it, please." The portal device emitted a high-pitched whine. Sam paused. "Is it supposed to make that sound?" Nina's eyes widened. "No, it's..." Before he could finish, the device emitted a blinding flash. Sam felt himself being yanked through space, tumbling through what felt like liquid static before landing hard on a polished marble floor. Groaning, he sat up, only to realize he wasn't in his repair bay anymore. The room was massive, adorned with golden pillars and shimmering drapes that looked like they belonged in a palace. Sam rubbed his head, muttering, "What in the..." "Beloved," a melodic voice called out. Sam turned to see an impossibly beautiful alien woman rushing toward Nine, who had landed beside him. Her emerald skin seemed to glow, and her flowing hair sparkled like starlight. Sam blinked. "Nine? Whose?" Before he could finish, more women appeared, each more stunning than the last. They surrounded Nine, fawning over him with words of affection and adoration. One of them, a tall alien with silver hair, gently brushed a hand across Nina's cheek. "We missed you so much." Nine stammered, "I didn't mean for you to meet under these circumstances." Sam's jaw dropped. "Meet? Nine, who are these?" "They're my wives," Nine mumbled, barely audible. "Your what?" Sam's voice echoed through the grand hall. The women turned to him, their curious gazes making him feel like an exotic exhibit. "And who is this human?" asked a petite woman with violet eyes, her tone teasing. "This is Sam," Nine explained awkwardly. "He's a friend." A flirtatious smile spread across the violet-eyed woman's face. "A friend? How intriguing. He must be special if he's able to handle your equipment." Sam coughed, his face turning red. "I was just fixing his portal device. No need to get weird about it." Another woman, with golden scales and piercing yellow eyes, leaned closer. "So, you're skilled with tools. Fascinating. Perhaps you could show us how humans craft things." "I think there's been a misunderstanding," Sam stammered, stepping back. "I'm just a mechanic, not some." Nine interrupted, clearly flustered. "Ladies, please. Sam is just here by accident. The portal malfunctioned." The silver-haired woman tilted her head. "An accident? How fortunate. We've always been curious about humans." Sam looked at Nine, exasperated. "Care to explain what's going on here, buddy?" Nine sighed, rubbing the back of his neck. "This is my retreat. I come here to relax." "With your harem of alien supermodels?" Sam blurted out. I thought you were the awkward nerd who couldn't talk to anyone without stammering. Nina's face darkened. It's complicated. Sam threw up his hands.
Yeah.
No kidding. I'm starting to think you're living a double life, Nine. The violet-eyed woman stepped closer, her gaze playful. Humans are so expressive. Tell us, Sam, are you as versatile as Nine claims? Versatile? Lady, I'm versatile enough to fix a portal generator, but this? Sam gestured around the room. This is way out of my league. Before the conversation could spiral further, an alarm blared, startling everyone. Nina's expression turned grim. We have intruders. Sam groaned. Of course we do. Because why wouldn't your weird, secret life come with extra baggage? The golden-scaled woman grabbed a sleek weapon from a nearby wall. Prepare yourselves. They won't get what they came for. Sam glanced at Nine. What exactly did I just get dragged into? Nine sighed. A situation where your precise handling skills might be necessary again. Sam shook his head, muttering, I knew I should have closed early today. The blaring alarm echoed through the grand hall, and Sam instinctively braced himself. Alien women darted into action, each displaying an impressive readiness that caught him off guard. The violet-eyed one grinned mischievously, pulling a sleek blade from her side. Don't worry, human. We'll protect you, if you can't handle yourself. Sam rolled his eyes. I can handle myself just fine, thanks. He turned to Nine, who looked like he was trying to shrink into the floor. You want to explain who's coming after us? Nine sighed heavily. The Syndicate. They've been after my portal technology for years. They believe it could give them a tactical advantage across the galaxy. Sam frowned. So, let me get this straight. You've got an army of mobsters after you, and instead of hiding somewhere inconspicuous, you're holed up in a mansion with your intergalactic fan club? They're my wives, Nine muttered, his tone defensive. And this location is supposed to be secret. Clearly not secret enough, Sam retorted. What's their deal? Do they want ransom? Or are they here for your equipment? One of the wives, the golden-scaled woman, shot Sam a sharp look. They seek to take everything IX has, including us. Sam blinked. What, they're into forced marriages now? Nine looked horrified. It's not about that. They see us as commodities. Sam raised an eyebrow. Right. Totally not weird at all. The doors to the hall burst open, and a group of menacing aliens stormed in. They were armed to the teeth, with glowing weapons and armor that looked like it could withstand a small explosion. Sam instinctively ducked behind a pillar, muttering to himself, what have I gotten myself into? Nina's wives wasted no time. The silver-haired one barked orders, her calm demeanor replaced with a fierce determination. Lyra, flank left. Vexa, cover the center. Xena, with me. Sam watched in stunned silence as the women leapt into action. Lyra moved with fluid grace, her blade flashing as she disarmed an enemy in seconds. Vexa, armed with what looked like a cross between a kitchen tool and a weapon, blocked a blast of energy and countered with precision. Xena used her brute strength to knock one of the intruders unconscious. Well, they've got this under control, Sam muttered, trying to stay out of the way. Then he noticed Nine fumbling with a small device. What are you doing? I'm trying to activate the portal to get us out of here, Nine said, his hands trembling. Sam groaned. Of course you are. Let me see that. He snatched the device and examined it. This thing's fried. It won't work unless I can bypass the regulator. Nine looked panicked. Can you fix it? Sam smirked. Give me 5 minutes. Just keep them off me. Nine nodded, looking more nervous than ever. Sam crouched down, his tools already at work on the portal device. Around him, chaos erupted. Blasts of energy lit up the room, and Sam couldn't help but glance up occasionally. Nina's wives were holding their own, but the sheer number of attackers was overwhelming. Sam. Lyra shouted, her voice cutting through the noise. How much longer? Don't rush me. Sam snapped. This isn't exactly plug-and-play technology. She smirked, dodging an attack with effortless agility. I'm impressed. Not many humans could stay this calm under pressure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not most humans, Sam replied, his focus returning to the device. Besides, I've dealt with worse. Ever tried fixing a hyperspace engine while it's on fire? Lyra laughed, even as she disarmed another attacker. I'd like to see that sometime. Sam ignored her, his fingers working quickly. He could feel the heat of the battle around him, the tension palpable. The device sparked again, and Sam cursed under his breath. What's wrong? IX asked, his voice tight with fear. It's overheating, Sam said. I need to stabilize it before it. The device let out a loud whine, and Sam yanked his hands back just in time to avoid a small explosion. Smoke filled the air, and Sam coughed, waving it away. Well, that's not good. 9 looked like he was about to faint. What do we do now? Sam glanced around, his mind racing. Then he spotted a piece of equipment on the far side of the room. It looked like a power converter, similar to one he'd used in his shop. That'll do, he muttered, dashing toward it. Sam, wait. 9 shouted, but it was too late. Sam was already in motion, ducking and weaving through the chaos. He reached the converter and quickly disconnected it, ignoring the sparks that flew in the process. Then he sprinted back to the portal device, slamming the converter into place. Let's see if this works, Sam muttered, flipping a switch. The device hummed to life, and a faint glow appeared in the air. You did it. 9 said, his relief evident. Not yet, Sam replied. We've got maybe 30 seconds before this thing destabilizes again. Get everyone through, now. 9 nodded and turned to his wives. Go. Quickly. The women hesitated for only a moment before obeying. Lyra was the last to move, pausing to give Sam a wink. You're full of surprises, human.
Yeah.
Well, don't get used to it, Sam muttered, gesturing for her to go. As the portal flickered, Sam grabbed IX by the arm. Come on, let's move. They both dove through the portal just as another blast shook the room. The world around them blurred again, and Sam felt the familiar sensation of being pulled through space. When they landed on the other side, he groaned, next time, leave me out of your secret life, 9. IX gave him a sheepish smile. I'll try. Sam rolled his eyes.
Yeah.
Sure you will. Sam stumbled forward as they landed in a dimly lit chamber. The portal sputtered out behind them, leaving a faint crackle in the air. He groaned, brushing off the dust from his jacket. 9, you've got to stop dragging me into your messes. Seriously, I'm a mechanic, not some intergalactic action hero. 9 looked genuinely apologetic, though his nervous fidgeting didn't help. I didn't expect them to find us, and I certainly didn't mean to involve you. Sam glared at him.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't expect my day to include dodging blaster fire while your entourage of wives tried to flirt with me mid-fight. 9 flushed a deep shade of blue, stammering. They were just being friendly. Friendly? Sam scoffed. One of them literally said, your hands could handle more than just tools. What part of that screams friendly to you? Before IX could respond, the sound of footsteps echoed through the chamber. Sam instinctively tensed, his hand reaching for the multi-tool clip to his belt. Please tell me that's not more of your syndicate buddies. To his relief, the footsteps belonged to Nina's wives. They filed into the room one by one, looking remarkably composed for people who'd just survived an attack. Lyra, as usual, had a smirk plastered across her face. I see you made it through in one piece, human. Impressive. Sam exhaled sharply. Glad you think so. Though I'd be even more impressed if someone could explain what the hell is going on. The silver-haired wife, Zinna, crossed her arms, her expression cool and commanding. The syndicate won't stop until they get what they want. We've managed to evade them for years, but it seems they've found new ways to track us. Sam frowned. And what they want is this portal device. Why is it so important? 9 hesitated, glancing at his wives. It's not just the portal device. It's me. Sam blinked. You? What do they want with you? The portal device is just a piece of the puzzle, 9 explained. I developed the technology, but it requires my biometric signature to fully function. Without me, it's useless. Sam rubbed his temples, sighing. Great. So, they're after your brains, your tech, and probably your charming personality. Anything else? They want us too, Lyra said, her tone both playful and serious. Nina's wives are seen as extensions of his power. If they capture us, they'll use us to control him. Sam looked between them, a mixture of disbelief and irritation on his face. This keeps getting better and better. Zinna stepped forward, her tone firm. We need to move quickly. The syndicate won't stop at one failed attempt. Sam held up his hands. Hold on. Let's think this through. Running blindly isn't going to help. Do we have a safe place to regroup? Somewhere they can't track us? There is a fallback location, Vexa said, speaking up for the first time. Her golden scales shimmered faintly in the low light. It's heavily shielded and off the grid. But reaching it won't be easy. Sam groaned. Of course it won't. Why would anything be easy today? Despite his complaints, Sam's mind was already working. He pulled out his multi-tool and started tinkering with the remains of the portal device. If we can tweak this thing to scramble your biometrics temporarily, it might throw them off our trail long enough to get to this fallback spot. 9 looked skeptical. Are you sure that's possible? Sam shot him a look. No, but I'm not the one who built a target on his back and then painted it neon green, am I? Lyra chuckled, watching Sam work. You're surprisingly resourceful for someone who keeps claiming he's just a mechanic.
Yeah.
Well, resourcefulness is a survival skill, Sam muttered, not looking up. Especially when your day job involves cobbling together fixes with duct tape and sheer determination. As he worked, the wives took up defensive positions around the room, their movements fluid and coordinated. Sam couldn't help but notice how efficiently they worked as a team. You know, he said, glancing up, for a bunch of, well, wives, you're pretty handy in a fight. Zinna raised an eyebrow. Did you think we were helpless? Not at all, Sam said quickly. Just. I figured you'd be more, I don't know, ornamental. Lyra grinned. Oh, we can be ornamental if the occasion calls for it. But in situations like this, we prefer to be practical. Sam coughed awkwardly, returning his attention to the device. Right. Practical. Got it. After a few tense minutes, the portal device emitted a low hum, signaling it was back online. Sam wiped his hands on his pants, exhaling in relief. Okay, it's not perfect, but it'll work. At least long enough to give us a head start. 9 looked genuinely impressed. Sam, you're incredible. I don't know how to thank you. Try not to drag me into any more intergalactic syndicate drama, and we'll call it even, Sam replied. Zinna stepped forward, her expression serious. We need to leave now. The longer we stay here, the greater the risk. Sam nodded, slinging the portal device over his shoulder. Lead the way. And for the record, next time someone asks me to fix a portal, I'm charging triple. Lyra laughed as they started moving. You've earned it, human. And who knows? Maybe you'll decide you like being part of our chaos. Unlikely, Sam muttered, but deep down, he wasn't so sure. The group moved quickly through a winding series of corridors that seemed to stretch endlessly. Sam kept pace, the portal device still slung over his shoulder, its weight a constant reminder of how much trouble he was in. He glanced at 9, who was sweating despite the cool air. 9, you'd better tell me this fallback spot is worth all this running. It's heavily fortified, 9 assured him, though his voice trembled. Once we're there, the syndicate won't be able to track us for a while. For a while? Sam scoffed. How reassuring. What happens when they figure it out? Lyra, walking ahead, turned back with a smirk. Then we improvise. Humans are good at that, aren't they? Sam rolled his eyes.
Yeah.
Because nothing about this feels improvised already. Before anyone could respond, a loud rumble shook the floor beneath them. Sam stopped, his instincts kicking in. That doesn't sound good. It's them, Zinna said, her tone clipped. They're trying to breach the facility. Sam sighed. Of course they are. Because why would they just let us have one moment of peace? The group hurried forward, but it wasn't long before the sound of footsteps echoed behind them. Sam turned, spotting shadows moving quickly in their direction. We've got company, he muttered, pulling 9 forward. Run faster. The chase was on, with the group sprinting through the dim corridors as the syndicate closed in. Vexa, always calm and composed, glanced at Sam. Can that portal device be used offensively? Sam frowned. Offensively? Lady, it's not a weapon. Then make it one, she said simply. Sam muttered under his breath but stopped running just long enough to fiddle with the device. He adjusted a few dials, bypassing safety protocols he barely understood. The device whirred ominously, and Sam grinned. Okay, let's see if this works. As the syndicate agents rounded the corner, Sam activated the device. A burst of energy shot out, the pulse knocking several of their pursuers to the ground. The remaining agents hesitated, clearly wary of whatever Sam had just done. Well, that's one way to clear a path, Lyra said, clearly impressed. Sam shrugged, trying to look nonchalant. Just a little something I whipped up. No big deal. The group pressed on, finally reaching a large reinforced door. 9 rushed to the console beside it, his hands shaking as he entered a series of codes. The door groaned as it began to open, revealing a spacious chamber filled with advanced technology and monitors, displaying various security feeds. Sam stepped inside, his eyes scanning the room. Nice place. Very evil mastermind chic. It's a safe haven, Zinna corrected him, already checking the security monitors. Not that it will stay that way if we don't act quickly. The doors sealed shut behind them, and Sam let out a long breath. Okay, we've bought ourselves some time. Now what? We need to prepare for their next move, 9 said, though his voice lacked confidence. They won't stop.
Yeah.
I got that part, Sam said, setting the portal device on a nearby table. What I don't get is why you didn't tell me any of this sooner. I thought we were friends. 9 looked genuinely remorseful. I didn't want to put you in danger. You're important to me. Sam raised an eyebrow. Important? I'm just the guy who fixes your gadgets. You're more than that, 9 insisted. You're someone I trust. That's rare. Lyra, leaning casually against the wall, grinned. How touching. Perhaps we should let you two have a moment. Not helping, Sam muttered, but his irritation softened. He couldn't stay mad at 9 for long, not when the guy looked like he might collapse from stress at any moment. Fine. Let's figure out how to get out of this mess. Zinna, ever the strategist, laid out their options. We can hold them off for a while, but we'll need to create a distraction if we want to escape unnoticed. Sam frowned. A distraction? Like what? Vexa spoke up, her voice calm. The syndicate values IX because of his portal technology. If they think it's been destroyed, they might back off. Sam nodded slowly. Okay, but how do we make it look like the portal tech is toast without actually breaking it? Lyra's grin widened. That's where your human creativity comes in, isn't it? Sam sighed. Great. No pressure or anything. He got to work, using whatever tools and materials he could find in the room. The wives watched with varying degrees of interest, occasionally offering suggestions, some helpful, others decidedly not. Make it explode, Lyra suggested at one point. Subtlety isn't really your thing, is it? Sam replied, shaking his head. After what felt like an eternity, Sam stepped back to admire his handiwork. He'd rigged the portal device with a makeshift smoke generator and a timer that would trigger a fake meltdown sequence. There. That should do the trick. 9 looked at him with awe. Sam, you're incredible.
Yeah,
Sam said, waving him off. Just remember this the next time you think about dragging me into one of your schemes. The plan went into motion quickly. The group set the device in a visible spot near the entrance and activated the fake meltdown sequence. As smoke filled the air and alarms blared, the syndicate forces hesitated, clearly unsure whether to risk moving closer. Time to go, Zinna said, her tone leaving no room for argument. They slipped out through a hidden passage, leaving the chaos behind. As they emerged into the open air, Sam finally allowed himself to relax. Well, that was fun, he said sarcastically. Lyra laughed. You handled yourself well, human. Maybe you should stick around. Hard pass, Sam said, though his tone was more playful than serious. 9 looked at him gratefully. Thank you, Sam. I mean it. Don't mention it, Sam replied, clapping him on the shoulder. Seriously, don't mention it. To anyone. As they walked away, Sam couldn't help but feel a strange sense of satisfaction. Sure, it had been a ridiculous, dangerous ordeal, but it had also been kind of fun. Not that he'd admit that to 9, of course.